Hi, Matt Chinian here. Welcome to my studio. I'm glad you could tune in. I've got these four paintings behind me. I just put them on the website, so I thought I'd just talk about them a little bit. They're from May, so um, they're fairly recent. I have more recent paintings, but I don't have good photographs of any of those. I only have good photographs up till mid-July, and it's time to photograph. At any rate, I'll start with this painting here. This was done at the Batten Kiln. It was in the spring. It's the spring. It's May 17th. And the river was pretty high. It had rained a lot. And there's a log that was sort of bobbing on sort of a rock or something like that. And I thought that was such a cool image. And I thought, how am I going to paint that? And I just sort of painted it. It's most of this painting is reflections of the water. The only part that's actually a thing it's not a reflection is the log itself, the dry part of the log. And some places where you presumably you can see into the water, to the riverbed. There's not a lot of detail. I don't like detail. Detail's just too much. So yeah, this is a natural abstraction, as I call it, and it's a category. And I sell one once in a while. I like to take a subject and to try and abstract it to a point where you don't exactly know what it is. It's really hard to figure that out. It might be right on the edge. It's any more abstracted, and you're not going to figure it out. But there's enough there to say, okay, I get it. This isn't quite as abstract as the previous painting. This is South Union Street, right here in the village. And every May, it becomes flowering tree season. And it's kind of vexing in some ways. I kind of can't stand it, but it's beautiful. They're just magnificent. And sometimes, there's a tree here that blooms fabulously. And some years it's more spectacular than others. Anyways, this was the year for this particular tree. And other than just being attracted to these things and saying, wow, that's really cool, I like the abstractness of the tree in its environment, which is a very orderly, well-organized place. And then there's this flourish of just wild blossoms, and I like that. Then this painting is what I call water under the bridge, and that's a theme I have within. It's a theme within a theme. Within the abstract natural abstractions, I have water under the bridge, which I just paint a lot. I like hanging out underneath bridges. How could I say? I'm a troll. And this, again, it's almost so abstracted you can't tell what it is. And there's not a lot of detail. And I think it's getting close to what I want it to be doing. There's like two kinds of reflections. There's a very easy reflection, and then there's a harsh reflection of the light that's bouncing off the water. And that light is kind of in contrast with the other kinds of handlings. This section here where you can see the water, you can kind of see the muddiness of the water, and then there's a little row of the shore on the other side. You can kind of just slightly distinguish. And then there's a few little, some plants or whatever, weeds sticking out in the front, like a foreground thing. So there's not a lot there, but what's there is kind of important. So that was kind of fun, it's kind of like my, it's a refuge. It's when I'm sick of doing paintings like the next one, which is Ballston Spa. Again, this is June. This is early June. It was a sunny day, And much of this painting is in shadow. The buildings and the car are actually in shadow, and they all share a fairly dark tone. One thing I really noticed and liked was there's a bright light right in the middle between the two buildings, and that's the brightest white on the canvas. There's also a shadow of a telephone pole, and that just kind of breaks some of the harshness of the other shadows. Kind of playful. And this is also an abstraction. It's not natural, of course. It's man-made, and it has all of those patterns that we live with, and I sort of like that. So it's Boston Spa, and these are all available now. I just put them on the website, and I have a code. Give thanks 20. Give thanks 20. Write that in the code, and you'll get 20% off anything except the really, really cheap paintings, which I have under anything under 125. There's a bunch of those too, which are really good deals. But anything else is 20% off. And so yeah, take a look, and thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.